Good afternoon, everyone. Here we are. We are officially recording as well for our YouTube channel. And bear with me as I make sure I'm recording who is with us today. I think I'm up to date. As of the moment, we have 22 households attending, which is great. And sometimes we get more as we get into things. Just some housekeeping items. If you want to utilize the Q&A box, it should be at the bottom of your screen. If you do think of questions as we go. Last time we had some chat box issues, so let's check or stick to the Q&A. So thank you all for being with us out there. I did send out an agenda yesterday, and I, of course, added some things overnight, but I wanted to allow you to follow along a little bit better since we aren't in person. And of course, we look forward to when we can be in person. So, you know, the Zoom format is not the long-term way we do these meetings. So when we are able to, we will get back to gathering in person. That would be favorable for us. So I'll follow right along with the agenda that I sent out, and I'm going to start with some activity and event highlights. So for October, so you will receive your October calendar tomorrow. So come and check your mail slot for that. And we'll also email it out as we always do. So as you can see on your agenda, we are doing an Alzheimer's Awareness Week next week. About a half an hour, I sent out the full details of that. And then you'll also see that on your monthly calendar. So doing just a number of things virtually, and then here in the clubhouse, and then around the community to support Alzheimer's awareness and research and funding. So typically we would do something like that in person, whether it was actually attending the annual walk to end Alzheimer's, but that cannot happen as it usually happens this year. So doing some different things. We will do a movie showing on Friday, 2 opportunities you could sign up for, an Academy Award winning film, and also a purple parade. So a chance for us to all gather outside and just do a walk around the community in a show of support. We have these purple flowers in the clubhouse. So you'll see some of these hanging up. If you want to write your name on that, or you could write a in memory of name, and those are a minimum $1 donation. So Jackie has those if you'd like to come and get one of those, and then we'll display it in the clubhouse. And so check out that memo for the full details. And again, your calendar will have that as well. So I did just want to review gatherings and sign up sheets, the sign up book, kind of that piece of things. So as we move into these colder months, we are requiring signups for anything that requires us to gather in the same enclosed space. So that includes anything like our flu shots or bingo or upcoming drawing class. We'll start doing a sign up sheet for that, as well as all the fitness sheets. We are saving these. So in the event that we had to do any kind of tracing, if a COVID-19 case did come up, we would be able to trace back, okay, so-and-so was in this exercise class and they crossed paths with these 3 people. So that goes in line with the signing in and signing out of the fitness area and the pool. So it's all for tracing purposes. And then in terms of the gatherings, it will also allow me to know how many people we can safely have. So with the fitness too, I just wanted to review because I probably caused some confusion. So I did send out Zoom links for everything possible for you to just keep. Those are recurring for you to log in. So our Tuesday, Thursday classes, we are holding those outside for absolutely as long as possible. We have borderline numbers for those classes since they are so popular. And since they're later in the day, we can get away with those being outside. So just so you have kind of a rule of thumb, I'm using a 50-degree kind of guideline. So if it is going to be colder than 50 degrees, the class will be held inside. And so if it's held inside, I will then refer to the sign-up sheet to make sure that we have 9 people or less. And then that particular class will be available via Zoom in the links that you received. So yoga, since it's so early in the morning, at this point, we can assume that every yoga class will be via Zoom and Monday. So Maureen comes in person and then we play it on Zoom. So there's some people that join at home. It was really neat. This Monday, I think we had 6 people at home. And then we had 6 people in the classroom with Maureen. So it was neat to just see that we can meet a few people's different needs and their comfort levels by having both options available. And then we'll start to see that on Tuesday, Thursdays as well as it gets colder. Wednesday yoga classes with Courtney, those are always Zoom. So she will not be in person. She will Zoom from her studio. And then so we will display that on the Learning Studio TV screen. And so you can come in the Learning Studio to participate, or you can participate at home. So that already happened last week and that seemed to work out well once we figured out some audio stuff. So that's just kind of where fitness stands right now, and I wanted to go through that. A couple other just general reminders for the fitness area and pool. If you use one of the bleach wipes that's on that table where you sign in, make sure you're shutting the top because we don't want those wipes to dry out. And then of course signing in, and make sure you sign out. So it is easy to forget, especially if you go in the pool. I'm finding that it's easy to forget to sign out, but it is important that we know when you left. And the other thing is just an update on the spa. We actually had a part that we needed to replace, so that's why it was closed. But then our health department did tell us that it is actually supposed to stay closed along with the sauna right now. So we hope that can change soon. I think I have some spa people, some hot tub people. So hopefully that will be changed soon, but we do need to wait for the health department to grant us that. I'm just checking the Q&A here because I did cover a lot there. I had a question. I have a question about my mask. I'm not in the office alone. I have Jackie here. So I would love to take the mask off, and I'm so sorry to be moving it around. But Jackie is in here because I need a note taker. So we do have to keep the masks on. So I am sorry about that inconvenience. Okay. Just some other things on the calendar, which you'll see in more detail when you receive that. We're doing a pizza pickup day. So kind of similar to the sub night. We're not sure right now if we'll be able to be on the patio. We'll base that on weather, of course, but same idea. We will break you up into groups. Actually, this time we're going to change it up. So we're going to do even number cottages, one time slot, and then odd number cottages on another time slot. So you can, you know, maybe see different neighbors than just the numerical order I've been breaking you up in. So we'll have to have you sign up in advance for that again, and then we will send you off with some food, or depending on whether you can sit and enjoy with some neighbors outside again. So that's October 19th. On October 22nd, we are doing another round of live music with Matt Hook at the CRC Chapel. So it was neat this past Thursday when I was filming and I saw some of you folks live on the other end of the computer. And it's really neat too because Pastor Matt recognizes our Cedars birthdays of the month and Cedars anniversaries. So I send you out a link for that and then you can enjoy him playing live. Again, that's October 22nd. And then since we do have Big Ten football back again, we are going to have our annual rivalry day. So on Friday, October 30th, it will be the wear your team of choice. So usually it's either wear U of M or Michigan State. But I know in years past, we've had an Ohio State fan or a different fan. We'll accept that too. So that is October 30th. And with that kind of celebration, we will do another bar cart. So it will be a tailgate themed bar cart. And then we'll make sure you know what time the big game is because the game is on October 31st this year. Okay. So just taking a moment here, does anyone have any activity related questions before I move on to the next section? I'll just give you a moment here as I take a sip of water, excuse me. And just an update, we have 28 households in attendance, so that is exciting. Eventually, I'll try to see who I've missed. Okay, I'm gonna move on, folks, to sales and marketing update. So you can follow along on your agenda again. Reserved cottages are cottage number 34 and number 44. So our available cottages are number 25 and number 54. And then we will have number 10 coming available as well. And then upcoming move-ins, we have a move-in to cottage number 34. Her name is Nancy Humberg, and that will be October 15th. And then we will have our other new couple on October 30th. That's cottage number 44, Jerry and Mary Black. So we are excited to have some new faces again. And Jackie's working very hard. You probably see her touring all around again. We do still have our tour precautions in place, that we do pre-screening questions on the phone and then when they arrive in person as well, and temperature checks to make sure that everyone is safe. We really try our best not to have more than one tour a day, just to keep things minimal in terms of exposure and where they go. And you'll see they really cruise through public areas pretty quickly too, just to keep things moving. We will be doing a waitlist webinar event. So we find that our waitlist folks are really curious kind of what was it like, what has it been like here the past 6 months. So kind of navigating the Cedars of Dexter through COVID-19. So it's a good way for us to touch base with our wait list. There's just under 40 people on the wait list that we haven't been able to keep in contact with quite as well when they haven't been able to come here and come to events and things like that. So we'll be doing that in November. I'm gonna back up here to a question. Wondering about Halloween. So Halloween is going to look different this year in all of our communities, at the Cedars, as well as in the city of Dexter and wherever your grandkids live probably. So it is a personal choice, of course, for parents to allow their children to go trick-or-treating. We are so sad that we are not able to host our what would be the third annual community trick-or-treating event. The CDC right now does not recommend trick-or-treating as a suggested activity. So we do need to stick with those CDC guidelines. With that being said, we will figure out ways to celebrate it here as a community together. We just won't be able to do our typical, so enjoyed community trick-or-treating. And we do hope to get back to that next year, of course. Good question. And then I did wrap up those sales and marketing updates, but does anyone have any sales and marketing questions? Did I miss anything from us?
No, those are all.
Nope. Jackie has been really touring like crazy. And I think she'll be in here this weekend too.
Yes.
So working hard because we did have some beloved family members here at the Cedars pass away and move out. So we miss our folks so much. And then we work hard to get nice new people in here to join us too. So I'm not seeing any sales and marketing questions just yet. So I am going to move forward. We have 29 households with us now. So I'll hope to take a moment towards the end and hope to get everybody on the attendance list. Okay, so I'm cruising into dining reminders. So as you know, we always have a full dining update meeting for you because we know these things can really do their own meeting. And then of course on those meetings, I have the expertise of Anne-Marie and Chef Mark too. So just some reminders that I want to just make sure people are aware of again. So as long as everything continues on this path that we are on, no COVID-19 cases here at the Cedars, things continue in the direction that they are with the state of Michigan, we will move forward with reopening our dining room for in-person dining in November. So right now, the first week in November, that falls on, I believe, November 4th. So we did get some good information from the questions that were asked of you in terms of, are you interested in dining in? What's your preferred method of receiving meals? So that was great information. And really eye-opening in terms of how many people still wouldn't be comfortable with coming in to dine in too. So it really gave us a good picture of what everyone is comfortable with. And what that also gave us a good idea of is how many tables should we reserve for singles, how many couples want to come in. So again, those specifics really can help us plan so that we know how many tables can be available at one seating for couples and singles in different households sitting together. So the biggest thing about dining and different households sitting together is that you have to be 6 feet apart. So that is a challenge with how big our tables are. So that's what we really need to be creative with. And then we do plan to have, assuming that we need it, to have 2 seating times that you will have to make reservations for. Let me see here. A question, how many people are comfortable eating in the dining room? So roughly, because I don't have those numbers right here in front, but it was actually an interesting split of about 20 people or 20 households want to come and dine in, and then about 20 do not want to come and dine in, and then about 20 were unsure. So kind of a split there with that question, but it does really help us for planning purposes. So good question there. Couple more dining items. So online ordering, I'm trying to add up. I think there's about 30 households right now that are up and running or attempting to be up and running with online ordering. So we've had some little glitches that we've worked through. Everything that you're doing, if you're emailing us things that aren't making sense, or our test group in the very beginning has really been essential in helping us through this and making sure that our back end is matching up with the front end. to what you all see. So next week we will be adding another about 20 households. And so throughout October, it's really going to be us mastering this system with all of you and working with all of you. So if you are on the system already and you are having trouble, I do really encourage you to come and sign up for a help session. There's a lot of help sessions available, and you are either working with our resident helpers that are volunteers from that first test group, or you're working with a dining team member. So Anne Marie and I are also working with people. I have worked with many people the past week or so, so I'm happy to help you as well. But you will probably be able to get help sooner if you sign up for resident help sessions. There are some now available every day for the next 5 days. Certainly do not hesitate to reach out to me with questions. And like I said, I am also meeting with people directly. Okay, I'm looking at a couple questions here. Louise, hopefully you can sign up for a help session. I think that would solve your issues, but I can work with you individually as well. And then a question here, how many eating options in dining room, delivery, pickup, etc. can the dining room cope with? Hopefully I'm understanding this question right. So when our dining room is open, will we still be able to accommodate both pickup and delivery? I think that's what that question was asking. We hope to be able to manage all 3 of those services. Certainly pickup and dine-in, which is what we were traditionally used to here at the Cedars. If we find that there is a really strong need and desire for delivery, we will do our best to try to meet that need. But we also want to make sure that we are able to serve our folks that are coming into the dining room as well as pickups. And just another side note on that question, again, was asked, how many people want to, or their preferred method of dining during COVID? Was it dine in, delivery, or pickup? Again, kind of even across the board. So it's helpful to us. It will give us an idea of how to manage these, but who knows, people might feel different in November too. So November, I'm sorry, there's a blower right here. I don't know if you can hear that. So November is going to be really telling in terms of our numbers and how we will be managing that. Yeah, it never fails. Okay, and then last dining reminder, we are doing a dining update Zoom meeting. Our next one is October 14th. I originally thought it was going to be sooner than that. And I think I told somebody that a different date, but October 14th is the next dining update meeting. So that will kind of be good timing for folks to have gotten a little bit more familiar with the online system. We can ask good questions about that. And then some general overview of kind of how things are when we're in our normal dining services, which we haven't experienced in now half a year. So, you know, some things that it seems like were forgotten. In terms of feedback, if you do have feedback to share, I think most people do already know about the comment cards in the clubhouse. You can utilize those. But the quickest way to get information to myself, Mark, or Anne Marie is email too. So we do our best to get back to folks in a timely fashion, but certainly you're never bugging us or anything like that. So if you need to share something, by all means, feel free to do that. So you can start writing things down for October 14th, which is the next dining meeting. So anything dining related, we could have a question on, and I'm going to check my attendees list here, make sure I'm up to date. Okay, I have a good question that came through too. Oh, some new attendees. I want to make sure I have. Okay, a good question. Somebody said, I'm new to the online ordering group this week. Do I wait until Wednesday to order? No, you do not have to wait. You can go ahead and place your order for Wednesday today. You could place Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday today if you wanted to. You have newfound flexibility in that. You know, you were used to putting in an order on Sunday for the whole next week. But now you can do one day at a time. You can do a same day order. It just has to be before 1 p.m. if it is for that same day. Or you can do all of them at once. The only thing about that is that when you're on the system, you can only see 5 days, 5 at a time. So for instance, if you are logging in on Sunday, you won't be able to see that whole next week's worth. So you can order today for Wednesday, or you can wait till tomorrow, but it has to be before 1 o'clock. Good question. Okay, and then question, what time is the dining meeting? That is a great question. Let me look. So our dining meeting on the 14th is at 12:30 p.m. All right. Okay, so you don't have as much on your, well, you don't have anything on your agenda for director's update. I forgot myself. So just wanted to touch on visitation and that executive order right now. We are still operating under the same guidelines that, you know, only approved visitors can come to the community. And then if they are approved to, if you can, stay outside, wear your masks, all of that. So still on that same order. And I will say that this executive order that is restricting visitation is set to expire tomorrow. So we are very used to getting information the same day. We could get information today, we just don't know. So when we know these expiration dates, we're just sitting on pins and needles waiting to hear something. So we will, of course, keep you updated on that. I know that is a big topic, and we hope to certainly have some of those restrictions lifted soon. Okay, a couple more dining questions that I'm hesitant to get into too specifics of online ordering right now. I do hope people will sign up for help sessions too. A good one to cover though, if you put in an order online and you send it through, you place your order, you check out and everything, you cannot go back in and change that order or cancel that order. If you need to cancel an order, you do actually need to call the kitchen for that. So that is definitely worth mentioning. Joanne, I'd like to talk to you individually about that question, so I will get with you, okay? I'm writing this down. Okay. So covered the executive orders, you know, that might, we hope something expires and is a little bit loosened. So again, just stay up to date with emails. We always post things here as well. So a couple things coming up that I think might be of interest to people. We always do an annual financial update from our CFO. So that will indeed happen. That will happen early December. And what that's going to look like is, of course, a little bit different because everything's a little bit different in 2020. So our CFO, Kim Hoppy, will be recording a financial video. So the video will be pre-recorded, but then we will have her for a live Q&A immediately following the video. So they do this every year for us. They do a general overview of the whole organization, and then she will do some Cedars specific financial overview. So again, that's with Kim Hoppy. She is the CFO, and that will be in early December. And then another just kind of high level meeting that seems to be of interest to residents, probably in November with Nicole Mag. So she is the VP of operations, and she will do just an operational full organization high level update. So those things with our strategic team members are always appreciated. And even in the odd year, we will get that information somehow. So those will probably be Zoom for you to get all of that information. So those were the director's updates. Let me give you all just a moment to think of any questions. Okay, I'm back to an online ordering question. What is the cutoff time for a same-day meal order? It is 1 p.m. So say it's Wednesday and you want to order your dinner, you have to order before 1 p.m. The system will not process an order if it is after 1 p.m. for the same day. Good question. Very good. Okay, any other director questions? I still have maintenance and a few other items to cover here. And give me just a moment to shift gears. Okay. All right, I don't have any questions coming through. I'm moving to director's update. So we talked on I don't remember if it was 2 months ago or what, but last time we were in here and Jim gave us an update on our new smoke detectors and our updates to your all-star alarm system in your cottage. So all of that installation is actually starting next week. So all-star will be here starting Monday the 5th, and they will have 4 installation dates throughout the week. So we will break that up in terms of cottage number, and Jim will be going around with them. If you are not home, we will enter unless you have told us not to. It should not take too long in each cottage. It should take 30 to 60 minutes. So hopefully they will be in and out of your way. First installation day is the 5th, Monday the 5th. They will be there Tuesday the 6th. They will not be there Wednesday the 7th, but they will be there the 8th and the 9th. So they will be doing all of the cottage installations next week. And I will put out a memo for that too, so you have a little bit better idea of which day your cottage is going to fall into. So again, that's starting next week. Jim has been very busy lately. I'm sure you see him, running from one point to another, working on all of these cottage turnovers right now so we can be prepared for our move-ins and get ready for the next ones. And then, of course, as you know, he is on his own right now. So that takes me into the next point of the maintenance tech position update. We have interviewed some really good candidates. We have extended an offer to someone, so we're waiting to hear back. But again, we've had multiple really promising candidates, so we hope that within the next week or so, we will start that onboarding process with one of these candidates. So just wanted to share a positive update there. And as you have seen, the painting of all of the pillars, that is continuing. So they should be, I'm told, finished up in October. So all of that will be done in the nick of time. That has been a lengthy project, but much needed. So I did just have a miscellaneous project I wanted to give the community a heads up on, as it does affect some in certain areas. So the Hoxies in cottage number 2 at the very front of the community, they are having some work done to their cottage starting next week. So with that, they will actually be displaced. They will not be in the cottage while the work is happening, but they will be in their lovely RV, which will be parked out by our front garage. So my folks in cottages 26, 27, 28, it will not impede your driveway or in any way, but I did just want to let you know that will be happening there. And then you'll see a very welcoming RV. And you'll see meals being delivered there too. So just a heads up for folks. That's next week. So that covered my maintenance updates. I will give you just a moment here. Here's a question. Any plan for the expected stink bug invasion? So I have been experiencing this at my own house. So I hope to find a wonderful way to get rid of those. I'll talk to Jim. I am not aware of anything, except I do know that Griffin, our exterminators who come here monthly anyways, are here today. So hopefully that helps us a little bit. So they do their regular preventative spraying and they happen to be here today. Any maintenance questions? Making sure I have all our attendees. 30 households here. Just don't know who you all are that I didn't get on my list. Okay, we have some people joining us from out of state, which is really neat. Okay, I'm not seeing any other maintenance questions. I'll keep on going, but feel free to type anything in as we go. So did talk with Paul today, Paul Schubert from the CRT Care Response team. Unfortunately, there was a couple busy months there with our move outs and things happening with our long-term residents. But as of lately, Paul and the CRT has nothing to report. So that is good for now. We said no news is good news for that. I did talk to a library team member earlier. You may have seen them sorting boxes of books the past week. Many books were donated to our library from Howard and Lois Ledbetter. So they spent a lot of time going through those books and seeing what we want to keep or donate elsewhere. And a big thank you goes out to the Ledbetters for the donation, as well as CDs. So the library has a lot of new additions. And then there are also now CDs. So we will go through CDs to see if there's anything we can use in the clubhouse for some music for us to have on hand. But after that, we will put CDs out in the cafe area and we'll have a little sign there. And those would be up for grabs if anyone is interested in the overflow of CDs. And there will be some, because there's a lot. It looked like some really good CDs, though, that a lot of people would be interested in. So we will keep you informed of that, but that should be within the next week to have those available to people. I'm jumping back to some questions. Again, a comment on bugs. So of course, luckily our preventative spray is happening right now. Windows washed this fall. We were able to have windows washed in the spring when things did start opening up. There is not a plan to have them washed again to end the year. So then we would look at the spring doing the full wash again. And I'm giving just a couple moments here for other questions. So I have a few positive things to share. But while I pull that stuff up, if anyone wants to type in any questions at all, I will pull up a couple things. So moments of positivity. I don't have a picture for this because this person refuses to have his picture taken, and he really does not want to be recognized. But those of you that have lived here a long time, or even if you haven't lived here a long time, you know that Gene in our kitchen is very well known for his desserts, has worked here a long time, is extremely dependable. He is being recognized this year as a 10-year employee. So it's been 10 years with us here at the Cedars, and we are so grateful and thankful to have him. So you probably won't see him. We almost never see him. But if you do, sometimes you can catch him on his break reading a book in the cafe or sometimes in the billiards room. You could congratulate him for 10 years, but he does not want to be recognized. Very humble, but we are so grateful to have him. Other positive, let me pull something up. I'm going to share my screen with you. I hope we can figure this out. We got a hurrah for Gene. Oh, okay. While something pulls up, I'm just looking at some questions here. When will the hose bibs be turned off? Good question. I will be sure that's answered for you in the minutes. I don't know that right now, but I'll put that in the minutes for us. The hose bibs. When will they be turned off? Okay. Margie Van Meter, I'll have to come check that out. I'll deal with that individually. Okay. When will the minutes for this meeting be available? Also a good question. By the end of the week, certainly, we'll have minutes out, and then this recording will also be posted on our YouTube. So you'll be able to see this full video if you did join late, and you will have minutes. So usually I send those things out at the same time, link to the YouTube video of this meeting and the minutes. So we'll make sure those are available to you by the end of the week. Okay. Sharing my screen here. Sometimes it works right away. 2. Yeah, me. That's me. Okay. Now it says I am showing my screen, so I'm going to trust that. So this is George. So George is our new part-time cook in the kitchen. He has been with us for about a month now. So we like to get people acclimated before we introduce them to the community. And of course, it has been so hard for people to even know who's been coming and going back there. But we are so excited to have George. He has been doing a great job back in the kitchen with Chef Mark and Jean. Really fitting in with all of us, a really good fit for the Cedars community. So George was working for the Bosch Corporation in Livonia, a really large company, and he was doing the dining there. And so feeding employees and hosting catering type events for all of their meetings. And so about 300 employees, I believe. So throughout the pandemic, they were super busy there, but George also has 2 young girls that were doing virtual schooling, and they go to Ann Arbor schools. And so he really needed to back off a little bit from that high demand work so that he could assist his girls do their virtual learning. So he is doing that right now, and he is also working part-time in the Cedars kitchen. So eventually, I'm sure you will see him in person, and he has been so nice to have around. And I have a couple other here because, because you know I have to share. Okay, so, oh man, can we twist this? Not upside down. Okay, so
There we go.
here's the boys at home. We have Cameron in his Red Wings sweatshirt here, and then little brother Noah. Cameron turned 4 on September 1st. We had a much smaller party than what we were used to, and all outside, of course. And so he doesn't care. He just, you know, he got to see his cousins and got to eat cake. So that's really neat party for him. So he's doing great in the school that he's in 2 days a week. And he also started soccer 2 weeks ago in Dexter. So he is excited and has a lot going on. And then baby Noah here, along for the ride. Cameron is a great big brother, and he loves that him and his brother Noah get to go to all the same places all week, whether it's the school or one of the grandma's houses. So Noah is a very happy baby, goes with the flow just about anywhere, and he will be 6 months old on October 8th, which I can't believe. And one more picture of him. When you have a baby, UMRC in Porter Hills sends you a cute onesie that says future team member. So he was wearing his future team member shirt, and they also send you a really nice book too. So of course had to share our family photos. But the other positives, of course, to share was Gene and his 10-year anniversary, and then to welcome George. So back to our question box. Did that. Okay, and we have a comment to make sure to give a shout out to all of our young folks that have been delivering meals. Each and every one of them is a peach, was shared. So thank you for that feedback. We know the kids and the dining staff really love their jobs. They love serving you. They love interacting with you. So they will be very excited to be back to in-person dining as well. So thank you for sharing that. So as of now, it looks like we have answered all the questions, and I have a few items to follow up on. So those of you that I said I would reach out to, I certainly will. And then I'll have some more answers for you in the minutes. Okay, I think we caught up on all those questions. Thank you to Jackie here taking notes. And thank you all for coming, and we will see you in person soon. Thank you.